he's playing as well as anybody. They got some new faces as well, so they got a lot, I think, excitement around their club, and it's a great time for us to play. And we're playing well, they're playing well, and it's going to be a good test for us at home.
Statistically, since the break, two of the biggest areas in perimeter turnovers and offensive rebounding. Are you guys doing anything, X's and O's wise?
I think everyone's feeling more comfortable with what we're doing. I think, we're a pick and roll team. A lot of teams are trapping by pick and rolls, and guys are reading and playing off of that and taking advantage and, getting the ball with the guy running at them and closing out, and they're putting it on the floor and making plays. And if they miss, they've broken down the defense and we can get on the glass. So I think it just gives us better balance. Everyone's, found kind of a comfort with that, and I think it's made us a difficult team because everybody can make you pay.
And offensively, is the offense gotten making plays?
We had a few plays here and there, but really it's the same thing. Bread and butter is pick and roll, spacing teams out, seeing how they're going to play us, and so we've done a much better job of playing off each other.
It seems like you guys are off the pick and roll, off that action, finding Gortat after a couple swing passes.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of teams, if they choose to jump me and trap out far away from the basket, we try to advance the ball and make a play and find him rolling to the basket while his man's, late coming off of me. So guys have done a great job reading, passing, and also putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket when the other team's in rotations.
How are the guys feeling today?
Oh, I think we're okay. We're okay. We took, yesterday off, just, 4 games in 6 days or whatever. So we seem to respond better by getting a little rest. We've already played 8 games in the last 12 days. So, I think we feel good. Obviously we're playing a great team tonight, that's playing exceptionally well too. But, as I said to the guys, we just have to take care of business on our end, and then we can worry about all the other stuff later.
What was the thought process for yesterday? I know your flight got a little delayed and everything, but is that tough when you haven't really practiced in 2 weeks?
Well, we haven't. We've been pretty sharp though, and we come in and we're getting ready to play back-to-back games. Is it worth coming in and having a 2-hour practice and then have to play tonight and get on a plane and then have to play in LA tomorrow night? At the end of the day, I talked to the trainers and I talked to our medical staff. They just thought that it would be much more beneficial for us to have the day off and come in than it would be to come in and practice for 2 hours. So I try to listen to those guys. They got a pretty good record. We've had 4 missed games this year due to injury, so they have a tendency to know what they're talking about.
Since the All-Star break, you're the 6th best offensive rebounding team in the league. Are you guys doing anything different, or is it just putting more emphasis?
Well, we're putting a lot more emphasis on it, really. Even on the free throw thing, because we were just kind of conceding anything that would have been a missed free throw. And then the one thing that we talked about is that just because we have the floor space, that doesn't mean we can't go to the offensive boards. So we require the 4 and the 5-man to go every time. Then obviously with the 3, it all depends on the position of who's shooting the basketball. But we try to make a conscious effort of getting and coming up with a few second shots also.
Giving up a few more fast breaks also, is that a trade-off that's worth making?
Well, if you're going to go to the offensive board, obviously you're not going to have the same defensive balance that you would have. But, I don't know. I still think our defense is pretty good. I think we play some teams that play up-tempo. If you look at what Utah and Minnesota and teams like that do, they're going to make you play fast and they're going to make you play up-tempo. And you got to be able to do both. You got to be able to win a 120-point game, but you got to also be able to win a 90-point game. I think we've been able to do that this year. Excuse me?
What do you think about Boris now with San Antonio?
He's with them. He's on their team. So we talk about him in the scouting report just like we would everybody else.
Do you think he'll fit into what they do, given the skills?
I think he's a very good player. I think he's a skilled guy, and I think he's a facilitator and, a real smart player. So I think he'll fit in well with what Pop wants to do.
Let's go!
Still going.